What is up, my beautiful people? This is A-Bomb, and welcome to my video where I'm going to explain every single thing you need to know about the new 50 versus 50 game mode in Surviv. We're going to be covering everything from the new leader to the new guns and just about everything in between. First things first, this is a game mode where you can queue up with up to 3 of your friends in a squad and choose to either no-fill or auto-fill if you have any space left over. It won't really matter though, because you're going to end up on a 50-person team, either red or blue. The way you know which team you're on is based on the color splotch on not only your character, but also on your health bar. Your teammates will also have a color splotch on their character, but more importantly, if you look at your mini-map or your full map, you'll see a dot for where every single one of your teammates is on the map. Additionally, if one of your teammates or you sees an enemy, an opposite colored dot will show up on the map. The last way of identifying who is on your team is by looking at the color of the person's helmet, if they have one. Rather than using the blue, silver, and black helmets found in the normal modes, in 50 vs 50, the helmets are colored based on which team you're on, with each level being slightly darker. While you can't see how much health your teammates have if they're not on your squad, you can see if they're emoting, asking for health supplies or ammo. In addition, if you're knocked down, anyone on your team can heal you up. One thing to note is that only your squad mates and not your entire team will see your pings for exclamation point, beacon point, and gift box. This of course is different if you are designated to be the leader of your team, when your emotes will be visible to the entire team while carrying a different sound effect as well as a special unique color. What's the leader, you ask? The leader is randomly assigned to a person on the blue and red team once the game fills up and a sufficient amount of time has passed. So what's different about the leader other than the fact that they have emotes that are visible to the entire team and have the head the size of a gigantic bobblehead? Well, the leader is definitely the most overpowered person on your team, at least in the early game. When the leader is elected, the leader will be immediately given a level 3 vest and a level 3 helmet, as well as 100% adrenaline that will not degrade for the entirety of the match. If you thought that wasn't crazy enough, the leader also gets 2 random weapons as soon as he is elected. One of them is one of the 2 new guns in this update, and one of them is a flare gun. And to put the cherry on top, you get a free 8x scope. But before I go on to talk about the new weapons and the ridiculously overpowered flare gun, I just want to note that the leader is indicated by a large star on the minimap. The leader can be downed, revived, and killed just like every other person in the game. Once the leader is killed, a new leader will not be re-elected for that team. In addition, when the leader is killed, a large tombstone will be placed on the map. Your squad mates and your teammates will also have a smaller death icon in the new game mode. On the mini-map and regular map, you will also see small triangles indicating that an enemy or a teammate has been downed and needs revival. Now, let's talk about the new weapons. First up, flare gun. While nothing's actually really new about the flare gun, i.e. you shoot it, it takes a while to reload if you have a second bullet, and an airplane comes and drops, the supply drops are completely different. Basically, the supply drops are like 4 times as big and takes 4 times as much damage and have like 8 times as much loot. They can be golden too, so don't be surprised when you find 2 M249s or 2 AWMs or a plethora of level 3 helmets and level 3 vests and all the medical supplies you could need. Did I mention that the USAS-12, the gun from the Woods mode that shoots red bullets and explodes, has made a comeback? These airdrops are very much worth going after. Here's how we're gonna do it. There's gonna be like 7 of them, and I'm gonna count 4. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Easy nade. Oh my goodness. Give me the armor, give me the armor! Oh, I gotta go, I gotta move. Somehow I did not pick up a single piece of armor, but we're just gonna... But be careful, in this game mode, when there are a lot of your teammates or enemies confined in a small area, random airstrikes will appear, bombing the area with 3 carpet bombs. These 3 carpet bombs are not to be taken lightly. They're pretty much equivalent to grenades that you can't really dodge unless you react in time. If you want to know where the airstrikes are coming, you're gonna see a yellow missile on the map. After that, you'll see a yellow circle on the map showing where the possibility of the airstrike is. While not every single part of the circle will actually be bombed, it's a pretty good idea to leave the circle and give it some extra room because those airdrops might actually leak a little over. I'm also no stranger to seeing 2 airstrikes happen in the same location, close to the same time. Okay, A-Bomb, that's cool and all, but I really want to know, what about the new weapons? Alright, here we go. Both of the new guns, including the AN-94 and the Super 90, are insane. First up, we got the AN-94. This is a blue assault rifle that has 45 bullets and shoots in 2-round bursts. In my opinion, this gun is most similar to the FAMAS if the FAMAS were to shoot 2 bullets at a time. While it isn't as accurate, it does a lot more damage, and considering the fact that you have 45 bullets rather than 25, you're going to be packing a punch. It also has a really fast reload time, similar to the FAMAS. Next up, we have the Super 90. This gun is basically what happens when you cross the power of a Mosin with the shotgun shells of a SPAS and the reload speed and accuracy of a Model 94, the purple semi-automatic sniper from the desert mode that wasn't really all that good. Basically, the Super 90 is a bolt-action single reload shotgun that shoots more like a sniper rifle than a SPAS shotgun. And while the katana isn't really a new weapon either, it's worth noting that there's a few new katana skins in the game.
Ooh, whoa! New katana! It's purple.
Now that we've covered the obvious things, I want to take some time to delve into the more unique parts of this update that aren't quite so obvious. First off, there's a new color of a ghillie suit that is used to match the new color of the grass in this game mode. It'll also hide your helmet and your vest, just like the normal ghillie suit, but more importantly, it's actually going to hide your color splotch. This is going to get pretty much every single person in the game shooting at you. Although people should theoretically be able to tell that they're on your team or not by looking at the minimap, it's a lot easier to shoot first and ask questions later. For this reason, I personally try to avoid using the ghillie suit because I don't want my teammates wasting bullets trying to shoot me when they should be keeping their guns reloaded, waiting for the enemies to come up. And speaking of confusing your teammates, you can wear the target practice red skin on the blue team, and you can wear the cobalt shell blue skin while you're on the red team. And if I haven't confused you enough already, the normal ghillie suit is still in the game. It won't disguise you because the grass color is different, but it'll still confuse everyone just the same. I'm on the blue team, right? I've forgotten already. No, I'm on the red team! Oh, that is a big mistake. That is a huge mistake. Now let's take a second to talk about the map, because the map is quite unique in this game mode. First off, to be able to fit 100 people on this map and have a sufficient amount of loot for everyone to get something, you're going to notice that this map is actually a lot larger than the squads map. If you weren't aware, the squads map is already larger than both the duo and the solos maps, so this makes the 50 versus 50 map the largest in the game. When you spawn in, your team will spawn on one side of the map and the enemy team will spawn on the other side. There's going to be nobody spawning in the middle of the map, as that is where the river and the 3 bridges are. Speaking of the bridges, these are completely new and unique structures to this game mode that aren't available in the normal mode. They have more loot, but they also have some interesting properties. While they have the same windows that you might be familiar with on the normal map, it doesn't have the roof. This means that you can see anybody on the bridge, regardless of where you or your opponent are. But don't let this fool you. There still are indestructible walls on the bridge that you can't shoot through. And unlike every other structure in the game, it interacts in a unique way with grenades. Normally, when a structure has a roof, that means you can't throw a grenade over the wall. However, once the roof is broken, you're able to throw grenades over the wall. This bridge is completely different because although it doesn't have a roof, you can't throw grenades over the walls. You can only throw them through the windows. And while we're on the subject of the bridges, you don't want to fight on these. These are just a mess of grenades. If I were you, I'd take the river. Now, I've said there's 3 bridges, but I didn't mention that the middle bridge is a completely unique structure as well. While the 3 bridges themselves are unique in the fact that they have the same sandbags and same boxes that spawn at the beginning of the map, the middle bridge will have a unique looting area. One side will be given a miniature version of the docks, while another side will be given a miniature version of the city, sort of like what you saw in the desert update. Most maps will also have a small island in the middle of the river dividing the 2 sides of the map. I like to call this island Manhattan because it reminds me of Paris. And while we're talking about new looting areas, there's also a new type of box. These boxes are labeled on the map by a small bright red square or a small bright blue square, depending on which side of the map it's started on. The loot in this crate is similar to the Soviet crate. And speaking of the Soviet crate, it got a visual update in this new game mode. And with that, I only have one more thing to share, and that's how the endgame screen works. If you stay until the end of the game, you'll see this screen. On this screen, you'll see how many kills you got, how many kills your team leader got, how many kills their team leader got, and who got the most kills on either team. And just in case you're wondering, yours truly can appear on the endgame screen 3 times. And there you have it, 50 versus 50, everything you need to know. If I kept you around this long and you learned something, I'd really appreciate if you left a like on this video. If you want to see more tips and tricks and surviv guides in the future, I'd really appreciate if you subscribed. Also, be sure to leave a comment if you're interested in learning about a certain gun or a certain playstyle, because I have a lot of videos in mind, and it really just comes down to which ones I should make first. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out!